So, I just got out of seeing Scream 7. And I just got one thing. I got halfway through this movie, and then something awful dawned on me. I was actually liking this movie, and nobody is going to believe me. So, today I went out to my local movie theater to see Scream 7. I didn't pirate it like I said I would in the last video. I actually went all alone because nobody else wanted to go with me. And I don't know, maybe my experience with this film was impacted by it being my first Scream movie in theaters. The other ones I just streamed on TV or even watched on my phone. And something is definitely gained from seeing it in theaters, obviously. Yes, I know there's a lot of controversy involved with the movie, with the whole Melissa Barrera firing situation, all the stuff that just went down before the movie could even come out, before anybody could give it a chance. And I'm not saying this is a movie without problems. It has flaws to it. It's not a perfect Scream movie, but I still enjoyed it. And people will think I'm only saying this because I have a political agenda. I hate that the fandom has become so toxic. I just want to enjoy these movies as movies. I'm against the firing of Melissa Barrera, and the studios just being awful and scummy. But if we can put all that in the past, just for a second, let's review this. I think I'll definitely have to do a spoiler review because there's a lot of things I want to talk about. But starting off here, what an opening. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but it was pretty awesome. I actually quite like the dynamic they give Tatum and Sydney. Although I will confess, Tatum's characterization feels a little formulaic, a little derivative, like we've been here before. The kills in this movie are awesome, and I remember that's what they said about the last one, and they were awesome there too. But here, if you like gore, there's problems with it. There's a lot of CGI effects, but just how innovative and fresh they feel. They are brutal in this movie. Something I'm definitely mixed on is, and this isn't a spoiler, it was confirmed a year before the movie even came out, Matthew Lillard and Stu's involvement. I'm always a sucker for Matthew Lillard, I just think he's cool. But I don't know if I really like what they did with, Stu in this movie. And I understand in the original movie he's, way over the top and ridiculous, but in this, he's, really way over the top and really ridiculous, and it's just, it almost comes across as corny or cringe, but it's not Matthew Lillard's fault, it's the writing. Especially how they wrote him just to be, the Joker, he is quite ridiculous. I don't know if I really like what they did with his character in that aspect of the movie. I'll talk more about this in the spoiler review, but I almost think they shouldn't have included him in the movie, and that's not something that I would usually be saying about Stu or Matthew Lillard. But unless they were going to do something different with what what happened, I think it was a mistake. Something, a little, again, mixed on is, some characters make bafflingly stupid choices. Some of it can be excused, but some of it is just dumb. But it's not, distractingly stupid. In fact, I really like how they wrote Sydney in this movie, because she survived 5 of these movies. She wasn't in Scream 6. She's smart, she's resourceful, she has things planned for in case something else happens again. It's kind of like Halloween 2018, but I feel like here it's done a little better, because it's not her whole life, and she hasn't been waiting for 40 years for one dude to come back who attacked one time in that Halloween 2018 universe. He attacked once. At least in the Scream universe, there's copycats, and this has happened 5 times to her. 6, like movies, but there's even more cases that are alluded to that we don't even know about. 5 that happened to her. Another character that was returning that I thought was handled really well was Gale. Um, you might be wondering, like, where is she when you're watching, like, the beginning of the movie. When she shows up, it's awesome. That was such a cool moment when she finally arrived. And I actually like how she was written in this movie. Although something that irks me is characters in this movie just disappear for like chunks of the movie. And I get some of it is trying to like set up red herrings so you think that they're the killer, but other times it's like Gale isn't going to be the killer. Why did she disappear for such a big chunk of the movie? The like set pieces and thrilling moments that happen in this movie are really good. There is good scares and some pretty violent kills. And I wish I could talk about what I mean right now, but just like the moment, like the standout moments. Yeah, you'll see what I mean if you've seen the movie or if you watch my spoiler review whenever I get to make that. Another character I enjoyed in this movie was actually Sydney's husband, Mark Evans. Don't you just like when you're watching a horror movie and not all the characters are just, I can't even think of a word, stupid. Like when characters are actually smart. But let's talk about the ending of this movie as spoiler free as we can. With every Scream movie, there's always the, albeit a little repetitive finale where the killer is always like, "Surprise, Sydney." And then they monologue about their motive, and then you see what like the social commentary or like meta commentary of the movie is. And they fight a little, then the killer gets shot in the head, usually, like it's that. That's what you come in expecting from a Scream movie, and I want them to do something a little more different. Like, do something a little different with the motive. The motive of the last movie was kind of just the same motive from Scream 2. The motive from this movie, I'm not gonna lie, feels a little rehashed. Like, it's not like Scream 6 is just direct ripoff of Scream 2, but it's just pulling ideas from older movies, sort of remixing them a little bit, and then, taping something together, and it's just fine enough. I'll admit, the killer reveals weren't the greatest thing ever. Again, I can't go into it, because it's spoilers. I did like something they did with Ghostface towards the middle of the movie. It was a little different. But yeah, who the killers ended up being were a little underwhelming. Really, if you go into Scream 7 expecting it to be like something mind-blowing and great, that's not what it's gonna be. But if you go in just wanting to have some fun, watch fine Scream movie, I enjoyed it for that. I thought it was really fun. One thing that did kind of make me mad, though, again, just like the commentary it had in the older movies is kind of lost in, even the last 2 movies. That was something that was also kind of a flaw with Scream 6. The first movie is easy. Commentary on horror movies. Then second movie, again, easy. Commentary on sequels. Third movie, commentary on trilogies. Fourth movie, commentary on reboots. Then with Scream 5, we got even more. It's about, like, requels and, like legacy sequels and stuff, but also about fandom and toxic fandom, which, come on, aged really well. Like, Scream 6, what is it really about? Like, I guess it's about, like, if you really want to examine it, you could say it's about, like, the media and, like, online hating and, like, victim blaming, like, real-world problems, but even then, you kind of have to stretch it a little bit. This one is, yeah, I mean, you had an opportunity. You could have made something amazing. And the ideas are there, but it's so loose, like, you kind of have to stretch your imagination to really think of it. In summary, I kind of have similar feelings about Scream 6. It's a fun slasher movie, solid scares, can actually have a little bit of heart at sometimes, but not like crazy amounts. Fun set pieces, awesome gnarly kills, that's part of it. They both have an awesome opening scene. They both have a killer reveal and motive that is ultimately kind of disappointing, but for me doesn't ruin either movie. The two are similar, probably more similar than you'd like to admit. I think this movie kind of sets itself up for failure a little bit. Not only kind of with like the marketing and like early rumors and stuff, but actually in the movie itself. Like it sets up like some high expectation that something crazy might happen that the fans want. And it doesn't really deliver. So, of course, people are going to feel disappointed when it sets itself up for something that would be cool, but doesn't do it. I think that's like what a lot of people's frustration is. If this movie didn't have that in it, and maybe a little less of the real world controversy, I don't think this movie would be as hated. It's a fine movie, but it sets you up to be disappointed. Like, if you remove that one element, quality-wise, I don't think it's too different from the last one. So pretty much, I think this is a fun, but safe Scream movie, kinda like the last one. I want to do a spoiler review that's a bigger, longer video, and no promises here, but I also want to make a video ranking all things Scream, like the motives, the killers, the kills, the movies, the commentary, the haircuts of Sydney and Gail, all that stuff. I think we'll have some pretty good stuff coming to the channel. Will inevitably be more stuff that I forgot to talk about in this video that I will talk about in my spoiler review, so if you've already seen the movie and that video is already out, you can click it. Oh yeah, I gotta do the movie ranking. I don't know, I did this in the last video. It's gonna be a thing for every movie I review, I don't know. Last place is still Primate, then Mercy, then The Bride, then it's actually pretty close. I think I liked Scream 7 better, but ultimately Send Help is still the better movie because it has a stronger script. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my review of Scream 7. I actually really liked this movie. I'm not even gonna lie, I thought it was a lot of fun. Do you believe it or not, I think Scream 7 is quite a good time. I don't know if I can recommend it to you because it's not for everyone. But if you're a real fan of the franchise, maybe I could recommend, if you're willing to overlook its, flaws, if you're willing to just have a fun time with it, still worth a watch. Whether you decide to stream it at home or see it in theaters is your choice. I think it's probably better in theaters. That's only if you think you're gonna like the movie. I actually really enjoyed it, and yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys in the next video, which will hopefully be the spoiler review.